So, Luke, when you hear the phrase breaking the silence, what does that make you think and feel with respect to football and mental health?
Well, just speaking out, I guess. So, like, I don't know, a lot of people in general feel like, I guess they can't really speak about problems in general. It doesn't even have to be like, personal. It could be to do with football. It could be like issues they're having in football. Say a lot of people get a lot of like injuries is a main thing. That's a big thing. I know a lot of people, including myself, even you get injuries and you kind of down in the dumps and you feel like especially coming back, you feel a bit like you're not yourself. But then, yeah, I guess speaking to people because a lot of people, probably like 99% of people, will have been through something like that. But yeah, um, that's sort of what it means to me. I think.
Yeah, so then do you have a personal experience in that respect? Because you said something about injuries. Have you got a personal moment from that?
Yeah, yeah, I did my back in when I was like 15 and
Hmm.
I was out for I was out for about a month. I thought I was perfectly fine, just thought I'll take a month off anyway. It's not too long. And then I went straight back in and a minute in had to come off the pitch and I was done then for like 6 months. And I couldn't play. It absolutely killed me, especially like I was trying to go more like into the American scholarship and I actually did go to that, but it didn't really help me out in any way, taking a bit of time off, especially I had 6 months. How was I? I was about 16, yeah.
Yes.
So I had about a year then to sort of get fully back into things. And I think that for me that was during the time of COVID, so that didn't help either, but yeah.
Mm. Yeah, there's a lot of different stories around the time of COVID, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
And then how did you, because obviously from it going to, like you said, going from something that was a month and then something that was 6 months, I think something really important to note on that, because myself and I've had knee surgeries and things like that. It's learning about whatever it is in life, whether it's sport, injuries, or just life in general, trying, even though we all want to rush and we're all so impatient, trying not to rush or do something too soon, because something I was taught in my recovery was think about the long term and the short term. So don't just do something because you want it now and you want it for the short term because it might affect the long term. And from it being a month to 6 months, it's that kind of sort of, it's the same sort of thing in respect.
Yeah, I mean, you see it a lot in like pro football. Like, sometimes you see someone, they might have picked up this small injury that a normal person will probably go like, "Oh, you play on from that, right?" But that it does make a difference, obviously, in the long term. Like, I don't know, say something as small as like a little hamstring injury that you might think nothing of, or as in my case, a back injury you might think
Mhm.
nothing of, then turns into something pretty big. And to be fair, I think taking the longer term um time off is a lot better than than the short term. As much as you think, to yourself, I want to get back to this, it'll probably ruin your career,
Mhm.
obviously long term, like we say.
Yeah, we don't want to do it long term. We want to rush, but yeah, it's definitely that. It's thinking about what you want short term, what you want long term. And then with all of that in mind, for anyone that is listening and also for yourself as well, people that are experiencing injuries right now and they're not able to do the things that they love, especially if it is football and football related things, how how did that affect you on the mental side of things? Because obviously it affects everyone very differently, but how did that affect you? And also how did you maintain getting through it?
Well, yeah. I mean, mentally, I can't remember too well because it was like a lot. I mean, it was like 5 years ago now. But yeah. I just remember it sort of. It did have like an effect on me to a certain extent. But I think I found other ways that I was going to the gym a lot, for example, and trying to like really focus on, say, um working on like building their muscles without properly damaging them. I did have a lot of like professional help with like medical assistance and a lot of acupuncture a lot and head massage it and all that. I think that definitely helped. So even like trying to I don't know what the scientific word would be, but helping out your bad muscles that are injured by basically like S&C strength and conditioning. I assume. I don't take my full advice, but that's what I did. So and I think it works. So yeah,
I think the key word there is adapting as well. It was
yeah,
when you said that you would still go to the gym, but you would train differently. You would train things that were good for the muscles, or you would train around them. And that's exactly what that is. It's adapting. So it's okay. I can't do X at the moment, so I'll try Y instead. And it might be very different where you're adapting. But if you're able to still do something, or not even if you can do something similar, like it's still finding ways that you can adapt to
mm,
whatever is going on in that moment in time and get you out the house or get you in the gym or whatever it is, or get you on a football pitch, or
yeah,
just finding different ways that, okay, I can't do this right now. Why don't I try something in a different way? And sometimes when you try things in a different way, you end up loving the other things more and you learn so much about yourself in a different way.
yeah. Like I tried at first. What really messed my back up as well was I tried doing like deadlifts. I was going heavy at the gym. I was like, I'll just build it up or whatever. And yeah, that definitely I couldn't move the next day. I remember that. That was pretty sad. But no, yeah, I just remember like from there, I don't really think I ever went like heavy in the gym, so it kind of like relates in that sense. So you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't worry, I get that. It's almost like a denial phase of like, I'm okay. I'm gonna go back to the gym and I'm gonna squat some stupid amount of weight because I'm okay. And it's almost like I've still got this, but sometimes you have to kind of reflect and look back and go, okay, you know what? Maybe I don't. Maybe I need
Yeah.
to take a break.
Yeah, I mean, one big thing that actually comes to mind is like almost like a way of dropping the ego because a lot of humans, especially in the football scene, there's a lot of like ego involved with it, and myself included, especially at that time. But you have to realize like if you sort of drop your pride, drop your ego, and sort of look at things, take a step back, look at things properly, then you can almost have more of a clear mind space, and you can sort of see things in a different light
Mhm.
to, if you're thinking from like a irrational sense. Uh I don't even, it's good for anything to be honest, but yeah, like I want to lift heavy. I just want to get this injury over with. Yeah, like I say though, we're talking about injuries, but you could put this for anything in life, to be honest.
But that's the thing is even whether it's injuries or whether it is anything in life, it still all relates. And our as human beings, we are run so much by our own egos in all walks of life. We can all see it in our own ways and we can see other
Yeah,
people's. And you're so right. If you can drop your ego for whatever it is, it definitely changes your perception and it changes your outlook on a lot of different things because you start doing things for you rather than what you think everyone else is wanting to see.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
And then I just want to ask you then, what's something in your world and in your life and in your career so far that you've done that you love, something that like is an amazing memory that you want to share?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, there's obvious ones like hitting 1 million subscribers, meeting fans. That's always something massive. I mean, key like key. I feel like for me, I try and like take everything in sort of. So like when I hit like 1 million, I was sort of like almost underwhelmed because I was already happy with myself for 900,000, 999,000. You know what I mean? But yeah, like a big moment. It was actually like I said this to a lot of people on the day. I was like the Strive Aid game and the
Mm.
whole day. That I said that's something that it probably is the best day of 2024, for example, and probably, to be honest, up there for the best day of my life, just because it was just so surreal. I
Yeah.
mean, wasn't there like 3,000 fans?
Yeah, there was a decent turnout.
It was ridiculous. It was and like seeing everyone there. I mean, even my family were there, so my mum and dad. I was asking them actually last night. Well, watching I'm a Celeb, funny enough. And I was like, how surreal was it to see like me
Mm.
with all like the fans signing things, and it just made me like feel so like proud. I don't know what the word would be, but yeah, it was just that day. It probably stick for quite a while. I mean, there was all these legends. I got a nice little GoPro clip with Carlos. So I think all together, I think that day that sticks out, especially recency bias. But yeah.
I think proud is the word, and I think you need to be really proud of yourself because, well, like you said in a nutshell, it shows you that all your hard work and your dedication and everything that you've believed in yourself has paid off and will continue to pay off. And sometimes we need those moments in our lives where, like you said, you might have been underwhelmed 1 million subscribers. I actually understand what you were saying in that respect because sometimes it's not about all of these big, amazing moments in our life. Sometimes it's one random moment, let's say, that makes you sit back and go, wow, like I've done this. And you're right. You speak to your parents or your family and you're like, look at me. Like, can
Yeah,
you
yeah.
believe that I'm doing this? And
See, that
so
boosts the ego.
yeah, it might boost the ego, but sometimes as human beings, we don't need it for our ego. We just need it for ourselves.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not even an egotistical thing. It's a look at all this hard work and dedication and time and effort and energy and I don't know, blood, sweat, and tears that I've put into what I want to achieve. And look at what I've done. So it's not
Yeah.
even an egotistical thing. It's actually and naturally, it's a really interesting point because some people get confused and think it's an arrogant, egotistical thing, but it's not.
Mm.
I don't think it is. That's self-confidence and self-assurance and self-respect. And like, look what I've done for me. So
Yeah.
don't think it's arrogant. Take it as a be proud of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to be fair, it is good because like especially like well for me and then something anyone can take for anything I think as well. Like it also goes back to what we were saying earlier, like just taking a step back, not even for injuries, just looking at just everything and a lot of people sort of get clouded, I think, and don't and sort of just look forward and don't sort of go back and think to themselves what they've actually done.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, it happens. I mean, it happens to me all the time. I mean, you do get caught up in life, work, whatever it may be, school for some people, and some people might be really overachieving, but they don't actually realize it, and they just want more, more, more. But it is good, a lot of the time to
Mhm.
step back and look at everything. To be honest.
Because we as human beings get so caught up in the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Because when these amazing things happen, it feels amazing. So we get so
Yeah.
caught up in wanting more, 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 more instant gratification all the time. When you hit the nail on the head, just step back sometimes and look at where you were. It could even be yesterday, a month ago, 6 months
Mm.
ago, last year, and be like, wow, look how much has changed. So once you step outside of yourself, you are able to see that and you feel so much more grateful for what's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I just want to, before we wrap up, I want to ask for anyone that is listening, obviously, let's just kind of take it more into the direct mental health advice side of things. If there is somebody listening at the moment, and I like how we spoke about injuries and things like that, what would you say to somebody that might be in this space where maybe they're in the middle of an injury or maybe they're in the middle of it can be anything in respect to football and their career and it's just they're stuck or it's something's happened and they've fallen down from grace, let's say, when they haven't, but they feel like they have. What would you say? Because when you're in that position, you don't see any light and you think it's gone forever. What would you
I
say?
mean, yeah, I mean, it's a good thing to sort of really, really stop and think to yourself like this is like the lowest,
Mhm.
but obviously it can only really get higher, to be honest. I mean, yeah, like I say, it's nothing that I've ever directly been through. Like you may have, I don't know, you lose a loved one or something, and you're really low then, but you only think to yourself like, things are only gonna get better.
Mhm.
Um, and I sort of yeah, I'd like to. I mean, it goes back to this all the time. Stepping back, and just thinking to yourself like, this is the lowest level we're at. And yeah, I don't know. It's it's a hard thing because I've never really been
Mhm.
affected properly by it. But yeah, stepping back is a big thing. Having just a clear mind, dropping anything. I mean, even resetting a little reset can't hurt. A little week in bed, watch some Netflix. I don't know. Enjoy yourself and try to enjoy life. Uh, don't overthink anything. Um, And yeah, like just yeah, try and enjoy life is the main thing. That's what I've been trying to do, especially since I've like stopped school and started doing what I do. It's about I've realized a lot of things is just about enjoying life, staying with your family, your friends, whatever, and really like cherishing moments instead of looking at the negatives. Because a lot of people do look at like negative aspects in life way too much. I mean, there's like a famous saying or something. I don't know exactly, but it would be something like everyone looks at, you have 99 positive things and you look at one bad thing and it sort of ruins your day. I mean, try and just look at things positively
Yeah.
is a big thing, I think, for me.
No, 100%. You're so right. 100 or 99 positive things can happen, and then
Yeah.
one negative thing can just change everything. And you have to step back, like you were saying, and look at all the amazing positive things that might have happened. And I'm also a big believer of when you're at rock bottom and 500 feet below, whatever it is, but whatever aspect in your life has happened, there is only one direction, and it is up. And it might be a really long journey, but
Mm.
every step, no matter how tiny they are,
Yeah.
every step slowly gets you somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think like I say, like people get really like clouded and tensed up. I mean a good example for me, my dad gets really stressed and annoyed, and I sort of say to him, we'll sit down, I'll give him a hug or something, and I'll be like, you just need to calm down and just think things a bit more clearly, and then you sort of even in life you get stuff done more efficiently and better usually.
Mhm. Well, it's exactly that, exactly like what you've been saying. Just take a step back. Sometimes a step back is 10 minutes or a day, or it's a little bit longer, but just take a step back and then you do see the
Yeah.
situation very differently when kind of you're ready.
Mm.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much. It's been amazing to talk to you today.
It's all right. Thank you for having me on.